Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'll be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Fight Night 272. In this one, we have Hailey Cowan versus Alice Pereira. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I have got to be honest. This was one of the hardest fights to pick on this card because neither fighter is elite. Neither of them are elite right now, or maybe ever will be. But neither of them has also shown enough consistency to where I can feel like I can pick either one of them confidently either way. Because you have Alice Pereira or Elise Pereira, I've heard it both ways, who's 5-1 as a professional, 20 years old, lost her UFC debut last September to Monson Rendo. Before that, basically fighting cans on the regional scene. I mean, look at these records of her opponents: 12-8, 2-0, or debuting, and 1-6. Like, Pereira's not fought anybody good. And I've seen those regional fights. Like, literally, the cage looks like it was held together by duct tape. So, gets in the UFC, which is quite surprising at 19, and just has an awful fight, honestly, against Monson Rendo. Not an entertaining fight, I would say. Now, granted, there is some upside to Alice Pereira or Elise Pereira. She is only 20 years old, right? So the upside, she has potential to get better, right? I've always said this. Fighters do get better. She has that potential. Could she get better? Absolutely. Will she in this short amount of time, in the span of 6 months? Maybe. Now, taking on Melissa Conan, who, by the way, is 34, so she's going to be like 14 years the senior in this fight. She's currently 7-4 as a professional, 2-3 in her last 5 fights. Now, Cohen herself is winless in the UFC, losing her debut to Jamie Lee Horf, and then most recently, last April at UFC 314, got submitted by Nora Cornole. Now, I know that's pretty damning too, right? You got submitted by the kickboxer, Cornole. Not a good look for Hailey Cowan. I'll say this, she has a bit more UFC experience. She's fought definitely a bunch better fighters. I would definitely think Nora Cornole is a better fighter than Monson Rendo, and as well as Jamie Lee Horf. But still, this is the type of matchup where I just go, who am I picking, right? Who is the lesser of the two evils in this one? With that said, let's get down to the breakdown. Starting with Hailey Cowan. She's more of an athlete, I would say, than a refined fighter at this stage. I mean, her strengths are she's physically strong. Like, she took down Nora Cornole in the first round of their fight, had some good control time. So it shows that, Cohen, she has wrestling, she has some basic grappling control, especially her back take. But she's not particularly technical on the feet. Her striking is, serviceable, but nothing that stands out. And her path to victory is pretty clear, I feel like. Close distance on Pereira, get the fight to the ground, and control. And if she can do that consistently, I think she can win minutes off or maybe find a submission. I wouldn't put that confidently, but definitely win rounds. Now, looking at excuse me, Elise Pereira, she is the opposite stylistically. For Pereira, she's more mobile, more of a range-based striker, likes to stay on her bicycle, circle, stay on the outside, and work with jabs and leg kicks. I mean, during that whole Monson Rendo fight, Pereira was on her bicycle just moving away. And I wouldn't say like full-blown running away, but pretty close to it. On the regional scene, like I said, Pereira had some nice knockout, or showed some knockout ability, but again, very low level competition. I'm taking all of that with a grain of salt. As while she had like good striking moments against her opposition, even good grappling moments, it's against nobody's. So it's hard to fully trust that success translate here. Now, again, she's very young, she's 20, and which brings both upside and some uncertainty. Here's the big question, right? The fight, I think, comes down to one thing. Can Cohen get this fight to the ground? Because I think if Cohen can get the takedowns, I think she wins. If she can't, she's likely getting outpointed at range by Pereira, hit with jabs and leg kicks, and forced to fight a fight that Cohen herself is uncomfortable with. And, Pereira has like the physical stats to it, at least if we're looking at reach, right? 71-inch reach to a 69.3-inch reach. Pereira could definitely stay on her bicycle and jab and teep kick her way to a victory. Yeah. That is a very good possibility. Now, just looking at the X factor here, there are two intangibles here. The experience which Cronin has, right? Even though she's winless, she does have more UFC experience right now than Pereira. But we're looking at upside and who has the potential to get better. Pereira clearly has more. Pereira could rapidly improve rapidly at her age. It's not impossible. And based on what we've seen so far, she's still very raw. So it is a possibility. Like, get her with a good coach, you take that raw material that she is, just morph it into a really good fighter. But right now, her UFC level readiness is in question. So, final assessment. Again, this is one of those fights where it's just like, pick the lesser of two evils. That's really what it comes down to, right? I don't trust either one of them. In fact, if they were fighting anybody else, I feel like I would pick whoever those two are fighting, not them. I would say that. Neither fighter is particularly trustworthy. But if I gotta pick someone, I think Cronin has at least a clearer path, the wrestling and the control. Pereira's path relies more on range striking and trusting that she can maintain it for 15 minutes. That's a harder bet given just her current level. And also the fact we're in the apex or meta apex, so we're in the smaller cage. It gives Cronin a better chance to pressure Pereira against the fence and then go for the takedowns. Now, I will say Pereira did an all right job of defending the takedowns from the clinch against Rondeau, but she still did get pressed against the fence. And Conan, she's bigger than Monster Rondeau, about the same size as Pereira, and so I think she'll have a better ability to get the fight to the ground. So, for my official prediction, I'm gonna go with Hailey Cowan, and I'm gonna pick her via decision. Not confident, low level confident pick. This is one of those things where it's like, no matter who I pick, I'd probably be screaming in my head like, what was I thinking picking them? But at the end of the day, I think if Conan lands takedowns, she wins. If she doesn't, she probably loses. But I'm leaning slightly towards her experience and ability to control where the fight takes place in this specific type of matchup. So once again, I'm going to pick Hailey Cowan in this one, and I'm going to pick her via decision. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.